Welcome back, assholes. I'm Uncle Freddy, and tonight on the Horrorfest we're talking about Halloween 2018 and what's the other one called, Jerry? Yes, I didn't read the fucking cue cards, Jerry. No, I don't have time. I'm Freddy Krueger. I'm a dream demon, bitch. Halloween Kills. Yeah. So this one negates all the other ones in the series except for the first one. This one brings back Jamie Lee Curtis to the series after a long hiatus of whatever the fuck she was doing, getting naked and dancing on poles or whatever. Oh yeah, well, I had a final girl too. Her name was Nancy, and after the third one, she was too big of a bitch to come back.
They were making love while that young boy drowned.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
With your host, Freddy. Happy Halloween, bitch. On this episode, I'll be continuing the Halloween fun with Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. Just like the other Halloween films in the series, these are a choose-your-own-adventure that negates all the other movies except for the very first one. So, this one takes place 40 years after the events of the first movie. Michael Myers has been locked away in Smith's Grove ever since the ending of the original movie, where he got captured by Brackett and his deputies. He's being prepared to be transported to a maximum security prison when two podcasters, Aaron and Dana, arrive and ask to speak with Michael. His current doctor, Sartain, doesn't think it's a good idea, but lets him do it anyway. So they head out to this giant courtyard where a lot of the patients are just standing around. Aaron asks Michael a few questions and he just stands there. Then, he pulls out the original Shatner mask he wore way back in 1978, and still, nothing. The following night, Michael is being transported in a bus along with some other patients when the bus crashes into a ditch, which allows the patients to roam freely out on the street. Just then, a father and son stop to see what happened, and Michael kills them and takes their truck to drive back to Haddonfield. Here, we meet back up with Laurie Strode, who's lived in a fortified house on the outskirts of town. She's lived in fear for 40 years, always looking over her shoulder for Michael's return. She even alienated her daughter, Karen, with all the years of preparation and talk of Michael coming back someday. The only one who still seems to want to talk to her is her granddaughter, Allison. So the morning after the crash, it's officially Halloween. Aaron and Dana are at Judith's grave. Michael follows them to a local gas station and has a brief fight, killing Dana and possibly killing Aaron too, but he just looks badly hurt, so I'm not sure. Michael then grabs his mask out of their car and puts it on. Deputy Hawkins, the one responsible for arresting Michael back in the late 70s, tells the sheriff that Michael has escaped and that he's dangerous, something the sheriff pretty much just shrugs off. Laurie warns her family as well, and Karen too gives like zero fucks. She pretty much just thinks she's crazy. Later on that night, Allison goes to a costume party at her school where she finds her boyfriend Cameron cheating on her. So she leaves with his friend Oscar. And this guy's kind of a scumbag himself because he sees that she's all distraught and tries to put moves on her. I mean, I get it, dude, but come on. Meanwhile, Allison's friend Vicky is babysitting a kid named Julian. Uh-oh, did we say the B word? Oh shit, here we go. I think we all know what's about to happen. So Michael shows up at the house and kills her boyfriend Dave. Then he kills Vicky, allowing Julian to get the hell out of there. Laurie and Deputy Hawkins overhear about the incident and race over to the house to find Michael just casually walking away. After this, the police take Laurie, Karen, and her husband Ray back to Laurie's house to keep them safe. Hawkins and Michael's doctor, Sartain, go looking for Allison and are able to rescue her just after Michael kills Oscar. He impales the motherfucker on like a wrought iron gate. It's crazy. Hawkins has a brief tussle with Michael and tries to kill him, but Sartain steps in the way and stabs Hawkins in the neck, leaving him for dead on the side of the road. I guess Sartain's just a crazy asshole and he had this thing planned all along. He drives him over to Laurie's house to try to instigate another fight, just like the one they had all those years ago. And then, on the way there, Sartain admits that he's the one that caused the bus crash to observe Michael out in the wild, and basically wants to learn why he kills. So like I said, he drives them to Laurie's house to provoke a rematch between the two of them. Once they get there, Michael immediately kills Sartain, Karen's husband Ray, and the two officers that were watching the house. Then we get the rematch. Laurie shoots Michael in the hand with a shotgun, blowing off some of his fingers, and then he stabs her in the gut. He goes to finish the job, but she disappears. They fight a little bit more, and it leads into the kitchen, where there's like this secret entrance to a basement that she has like a panic room in. So she pushes a button on this kitchen island, and it swivels out of the way, revealing the entrance to the basement, where Karen's waiting down below. Just as Michael approaches, Karen makes herself known to him, and then shoots him right in the face, causing him to fall down into the room. And then, Laurie, Karen, and Allison get free of the danger and set the house on fire with Michael trapped down in the basement, left to burn alive. As the house is burning down, the three of them hitchhike a ride to the hospital just as firefighters show up to put the damn fire out, much to Laurie's dismay. This is where Kills takes place. We quickly have a flashback of 1978, where Hawkins and his partner have a run-in with Michael. I'm guessing this is right after the end of the first movie. Michael grabs Hawkins' partner, and when he attempts to save him, he accidentally shoots the partner instead, killing him. And then, as Michael attempts to escape, he's intercepted by Loomis and the rest of the sheriff's department, who take him into custody. Back to present day, while walking home from the party, Cameron finds Hawkins on the ground bleeding out and calls for help. We then cut to a local bar where an adult Tommy Doyle is celebrating surviving Michael all those years ago. Also there's Lindsay, Nurse Marion, and Tommy's old bully, Lonnie, who's Cameron's father. Back at Laurie's house, the firefighters encounter Michael, who gets freed from the basement and massacres them all single file. Laurie arrives at the hospital and immediately goes into surgery as a news broadcast about the incident plays at the bar, catching the attention of Tommy and the others. And of course they automatically blame Michael. Tommy then organizes an angry mob, including Lindsay, Marion, and a married couple, Marcus and Vanessa, from the bar. They go outside and chase down a guy who stole Vanessa's car and crashed it, thinking it's Michael. But whoever it was gets away. Meanwhile, Michael makes his way back to his childhood home, killing Laurie's neighbors on the way. Karen learns about Michael's escape, but chooses not to tell Laurie, just so she doesn't induce more panic. And then Allison heads out with Cameron and Lonnie to join the mob. Lindsay, Marion, Marcus, and Vanessa show up at a park where they find a group of kids on a playground. Lindsay tells them all to run, and they have no sense of urgency, at all. Then, Michael walks up with the head of one of the kids, wearing the iconic mask from Halloween 3. Hey! Michael kills Marion, Marcus, and Vanessa rather quickly, with Vanessa getting the worst of the kills, I think. He freaking kicks a car door into her hand and makes her shoot herself. Shit's crazy. Then Lindsay tries to beat Michael with a bag of rocks, which does next to nothing, before running and hiding by a dock. Not long after this, Tommy, Lonnie, and the others show up to find Lindsay crawling around, seeing all the carnage that Michael left behind. Then they race back to the hospital, where Tommy runs in the lobby, guns blazing, causing mass panic among everyone inside. And if that's not bad enough, he tells Laurie that Michael's still out there, and she attempts to leave and go after him. But she can't. As this is going on, Michael finally makes it to his childhood home and kills the couple who are currently living there, the guy from Mad TV and this other guy. As pandemonium rises at the hospital, another escaped patient from the bus crash shows up and is mistaken for Michael. But he's also the same one that stole Vanessa's car. As the angry mob grows, the patient is chased higher and higher up until he's forced to jump to his death out of a window. Then, only then, Tommy realizes that this guy is not Michael and he's still out there. After that, Lonnie takes Cameron and Allison over to Michael's childhood home, believing that this is where he wanted to go all along. And then for whatever reason, Lonnie goes inside by himself, because that's a great idea. And as to be expected, he never returns, so Cameron and Allison head inside after him. They quickly find Lonnie's body, and then Michael jumps out and ambushes them, killing Cameron. Yeah, man, he crushes his neck on the banister of the stairs, and it's fucked up. Allison manages to stab Michael, but he advances on her. But before he can kill her, Karen pops up in the doorway and impales him with a pitchfork. And then she curb stomps him. Karen steals his mask and has him follow her down the road, where he's cornered by the angry mob. This scene is the best scene in the movie. They all take turns beating the shit out of him, and one guy even shoots him a bunch. But it literally does no good, because he gets right back up and slaughters everyone, including Tommy. Meanwhile, back at the Myers house, Karen is comforting Allison as the paramedics show up. Karen steps away for a moment and heads up to Judith's old room. As she's looking out the window, Michael appears behind her and stabs her to death, with the final shot of the movie being Laurie vowing to go after Michael. The end. Well, guys, it was an amazing follow-up to the original, I think. Changing the plot to Michael being captured at the end of the original movie definitely made it interesting. I mean, I guess that's the new canon. I'm not quite sure how to feel about Sartain. I mean, he's kind of the reason the whole fucking thing happened, with his obsession over Michael. This would have never happened on Loomis's watch. Well, actually, yeah, it probably would have. And as it turns out, Michael wasn't even gunning after Laurie like she imagined. Throughout the entire thing, she thought that he was solely going after her for revenge. No, he just kills whoever, whenever. It's random. And I think Cameron, he had a nice redemption after 2018, but then he got violently killed off. Yeah, of course. Oh, and Tommy Doyle. What the fuck, man? I mean, I get the whole angry mob idea, but he literally created a riot, more or less, and it didn't even work. What good did it do? Alright guys, well, there's actually a third part to this called Halloween Ends that I'll be reviewing tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. See you then.